Congratulations.
Thanks, Fev.
Ryan O'Keefe.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, I got a stiffy.
The Brisbane Lions, a team which in the modern era has been the envy of the competition, with the club reaping the rewards of their efforts by winning the 2024 AFL Premiership. And with even more talents coming in, such as father-son draftee Levi Ashcroft, it's safe to say there's never been a better time to be a Lions fan. However, to get to the mountaintop, the Lions embarked on a grueling 21-year journey involving false dawns, club mismanagement, and getting dragged through the mud. And for the latter, no one sticks out like a sore thumb more than today's video subject. But first, we need to go through a quick run through of what happened all the way back to 2004. Kanye West dropped his first studio album, Mark Latham lost an election because of a fucking handshake, and the Brisbane Lions were attempting to do the unthinkable and win 4 premierships in a row. And their goal of reaching 4 in a row was going swell, finishing the season second place on the ladder, and then going on to spank St Kilda in the 2004 qualifying final. It was going great, until AFL happened. You see, back in 2004, there was a certain contract between the AFL and the MCC, which stated that at least one final per week must be played at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And given that both prelim hosts were outside Victoria, Brisbane was forced to play a home final thousands of kilometres away from their actual home due to being lower ranked than Port Adelaide. Luckily, Brisbane managed to scrape home by more than a goal against Geelong, but this game cost Brisbane crucial rest time, giving Port Adelaide a massive advantage, allowing them to smash Brisbane in the grand final the following week. For Brisbane, this was the beginning of a period of mediocrity. Between 2005 and 2008, Brisbane endured many seasons of either just missing finals or making bottom 4. And in September 2008, Lethal quit as the Brisbane Lions coach and was replaced by Brisbane's favourite son, Jason Ackerman. It was Michael Voss. Vossi managed to lead Brisbane to a 6th place finish with notable efforts from that year's Rising Star winner Daniel Rich, Jonathan Brown, and
the guy behind
the outstanding best on-ground performance
in the Carlton elimination final,
the great Kevin Rudd.
The coach almost lost his sense of decorum and the Prime Minister's lost his.
This led Brisbane fans to become hopeful of the new Michael Voss era, with Brisbane wanting to add to their talent pool. And the Lions began setting their targets on a goal-kicking machine from Princess Park, that being the great name of Brendan Favola. Brendan Favola was a Carlton forward drafted in 1998 at pick 38 and became a regular best 22 player for Carlton from 2003. And make no mistake, he was a fucking gun. He won the leading club goal kicker 7 times in a row from 2003 to 2009, made the All-Australian in 06, 08 and 09, was 1 goal off from kicking 100 goals in 2008, and won the Coleman Medal in 2006 and 2009. With this level of talent, you may be thinking, why is Carlton trading him away all of a sudden? Well, you see, there was one little incident in 2009 that turned his relationship with the club upside down, that being the 2009 Brownlow. At the 2009 Brownlow medal count, Brendan Favola did interviews with AFL players for the Footy Show on Channel 9 while being heavily intoxicated. In the interviews, he proceeded to, well, it pretty much explains itself.
Pressure point! Pressure! And he's knocked me here off my head. Oh, I got a stiffy. Steven Seagal! Hey! Steven Seagal! Hey, Steven! Steven Seagal! Hey! We all watch Steven Seagal movies!
As a result of these actions, he was fined $10,000 by Carlton, and the club was now seeking a trade for him. And with Brisbane eager to leap on their premiership chances, they put their hand up for old Fev. On October 9, 2009, Carlton traded Favola to Brisbane in exchange for a first-round draft pick and Lockie Henderson. On paper, this trade sounds like a win-win. However, in order to get Favola, they managed to piss off 2 of their key players, Daniel Bradshaw and Michael Rischitelli. When Brisbane were attempting to get Favola, one of the options that Brisbane were willing to put on the table was trading Daniel Bradshaw and Michael Rischitelli. This shocked Daniel Bradshaw and Michael, and so when Brisbane attempted to offer Bradshaw on a 2-year deal after the Fev trade, he basically told them
to go and get from Nelligan.
Put himself up for grabs in the
pre-season
draft, with Sydney picking him at pick
4.
And for Michael, while he did stay on for the 2010 season, he went down to the highway to play at the Gold Coast the following season, with the Favola drama being a potential reason for it. But hey, at least they managed to get Favola! So, after all that jazz, Brisbane were setting their sights onto the 2010 Premiership, with a shiny, pre-owned Favola. And so you may be asking, how did it turn out? Well, actually, they started off bloody well. In the first 4 rounds of the 2010 season, the Lions were undefeated, with Favola kicking 3 goals against West Coast Carlton and Port Adelaide, and 4 goals against the Western Bulldogs. This was not to mention the input that teammate Jonathan Brown was putting in by kicking totals of 3 goals, 5 goals, 7 goals! These two were like the Twin Towers, standing tall amongst the peasants of the rest of the comp. It was all going swell until it wasn't. The Brisbane Lions season spiraled into an absolute disaster, proceeding to lose their next 5 games. And when Brisbane spiraled out of control, so did Favola. After the 4-0 sugar hit, Fev began battling a groin injury, which impacted his form, and made him only produce a 48-goal season, which doesn't seem bad on paper until you realise that he kicked 89 goals in 2009. Off the field, Brendan kept getting into hot pot of water for alleged misconduct, whilst being cleared by the
AFL test.
caused him to drag Brisbane through the mud with him. Also, Favola announced that he was battling a horrendous gambling addiction that, despite undergoing counselling, still caused him to lose thousands of dollars, to the point where after his career, he sold his 2006 Coleman medal to fund his addiction, which, while he did get it back in 2019 thanks to a cashed up mate, it still shows how bad his addiction was at the time. To add salt to the wound for Brisbane, Favola suffered a season-ending injury to his groin in round 18 against Melbourne. Brisbane attempted to convince Favola to stay and get treatment for his groin for a 16-week-long process, but Brendan wanted to recuperate in Melbourne. He was then found entering a nightclub, getting into hot water and rubbing dirt in the eyes of Brisbane. However, the straw that broke Fev's relationship with Brisbane was an incident on New Year's Day 2011, where Brendan Favola got arrested for being a public nuisance and obstructing police. And at that moment, Brisbane had enough of his shit. So after Favola was released on bail, on the 20th of January 2011, Brisbane sacked Favola, meaning that the sharpening of their players, trading of Lockie Henderson, who went on to become a good contributor to Carlton, and getting slammed by the media outlets day in and day out was all for nothing. In conclusion, the Brendan Favola trade caused Brisbane to be sent back 10 years in progress and squander a premiership chance by attempting to go all in on him by causing key players to leave the club, and the end result was wrecking Brisbane's reputation only just to get sacked, while the talents that they traded went on to contribute well for other clubs. It also marked the beginning of what would be, in my opinion, the lowest point in the Brisbane Lions history, which is a story for another day. However, that being said, it was clearly the Paddle Pop Jumpers' fault, and anyone who disagrees, I'm coming.